Okay, so greetings and salutations. Welcome to Attempting to Master the Podcast, also known as ATM. I'm Nick Simmons, and I'm really excited because this is one of, I'm gonna call it this first couple episodes I recorded. They're all gonna start the same, but I'm here with the one and only Ashley Simmons, my sister. Today in the car, when I was yelling at Siri so I can call her, I screamed Lamont John multiple times because that's her name on my phone. But
you're gonna have to explain that. You can't just say Lamont John without any.
You don't want anyone. I thought we can get to that. Okay,
when
Lamont
were
John,
you gonna get to it?
Like I said, nerves. Lamont John was Ashley's. Was supposed to be Ashley's name.
If I were
if
a boy.
She were a boy.
You have to put that caveat in the if. They didn't know what sex that would be. So they had a girl name and a boy name ready.
Surprise!
And that was this.
And now we're here.
Yeah.
We shouldn't. But so we're gonna have a guest, right? Where we're gonna talk about attempting to master. It could be a specific craft. It could be their job. It could be whatever really it is. But I think being able to come here, have a forum, have a place where we can sit, where we can talk, where we can have a good time. Most importantly, where we can drink. Thank you. Is going to be really important to ensure that this is a great conversation. And throughout this, I will have different guests on. We will have some of my different co-hosts that we will meet throughout the season, really just sharing their different levels of attempting to master. And I think what sticks out for me is I'm trying to figure out this whole life thing. I was in a meeting the other day. I was talking to someone and I go, yeah, it's like attempting to master because they said adulting was easy, and what I've realized is it's not. And the person who I said this in front of, she looks at me and she goes, well, who said it was easy? And yeah, it struck me because I don't think anyone ever said.
No.
It just looked good.
Yeah, I'm sure it looked good, but it never looked easy. Adulting is ridiculous. It's honestly the ghetto. I don't want to be here.
I don't, ever. But, that's why I have my Twitter, because, I just go there, and that's where I let everything go. Mm-hmm. That's where, I don't recommend looking at my Twitter and trying to understand who I am. I don't recommend you looking at my Twitter and you trying to, reach out right after, everything okay? Because it may not even be true. It just, okay, I have a whole bunch of drafts. And, sometimes I just go through my drafts and, I'm gonna tweet this one now. So you can never actually put it in perspective where I'm at, what's going on, how I feel. But it did lead me to, in doing this podcast, make sure that I had some fun. I got to do some things. I want to go through my Twitter, and I'm going to explain the tweet. So prior to the episode actually starting, I had my mom, which has its own regrets, but I had my mom go through my Twitter. And
I just want to understand why she had to be the one to go through your Twitter.
Well, she helped me prepare for this episode. So.
Right. But your Twitter is not a place that
anyone's parent.
Yeah, anyone who has a respectful relationship with you should not see your Twitter. I'll just say I'll just say anyone 40 and up shouldn't see your Twitter.
40 and up, you probably shouldn't see my Twitter. 18 and younger, you shouldn't be on Twitter.
Any former employers,
future employers.
Oh yeah. I hope it's locked. Is there a Twitter locked?
No, it's open to the public.
That's okay.
So at Nick Sims, NickSimz, please follow me. But follow at your own risk. What I do tell everyone is do not put me on notification. My roommate did that. Yo.
Why?
He was like, oh, you tweet so much. I didn't know what's going on with you. put me on notification.
That's kind of creepy though.
I go, I don't recommend. I think you should stop. I think by the end of that first week, he was like, oh, this is too much.
Yeah, that's a lot. I tend to ignore your Twitter.
Yeah, you should. So we're going to go into explain this tweet. Do you have the tweet ready? Oh, she's going to read it too.
Oh, you're going to read it out loud?
On 2/10/23 at 1:17, Nick tweeted.
AM or PM?
PM.
Okay. I wasn't drunk yet, or maybe I was.
Yeah, he could have been drunk.
All this.
I can.
Because the phone didn't pick it up.
It didn't pick it up.
You want to come in?
Just finish.
All this chatter makes me want to become a wizard.
When was this?
February 10th.
February 10th, this year. Oh, so you didn't even go that far back. February 10th. All this chatter makes me want to be. Oh my God, Harry Potter. It was. I think me and Paulina talked about it. It was the Harry Potter game came out on Twitter. I mean, it came out and everyone was talking about it. My roommate, one of my roommates bought it, and then my other roommate got jealous, so he bought it too. And I go, well, we got two of them in the house now. I can play on someone's. And I'm like on Twitter and see everyone talking about it, like, oh, it's such a good game. It's so much fun. So I was like away or something. As soon as I got home and set up my Wizard account. I think my name was Diavion. No, was I supposed to stop? Was I always supposed to give y'all half the story?
All right, I don't want to ask any more questions. Can we? Let's just get to the.
Hey, okay, so cool. As you said, we already cheers, but our libation of the night is, I don't know what you're drinking.
It's red wine. That's all
Red
we have
wine.
to say.
Yeah, it's, and no, well, you already took a sip, but I think this is really important. I need to give her a shout out. I think this is a person who has inspired me to live the life I currently live. This one goes out to my Aunt Joyce. From such a young age, she taught me this saying that has stuck with me, that I live by, I say every time I go out. I don't drink because of the way it tastes, but I drink because of the way it makes me feel. Cheers. And I'm trying to feel good tonight.
What a legend that woman is.
I swear, I'm, 10 years old, and she's telling me this story, and I'm like, yes, Auntie, I believe you. Like, you are right.
Jesus. A child
So,
when we learn
every time that we come here, I'm definitely going to have a drink. I feel like it loosens us up. I may be sweating a little bit right now, but I'm having a great time.
I'm glad you are.
Yeah, so thank you for being here with me.
And you're still Nicholas, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure. I don't know when the others are supposed to.
They don't.
Is this supposed to be comedy? Is this a comedy podcast? This is supposed to be serious, huh?
No, there's supposed to be a moment of kiki in every single episode.
Oh,
but we are going to get into some a real conversation at some point.
Yes, eventually.
I think honestly, when they think about attempting to master and why we came up with this idea was I wanted to be able to learn from people. I always believe in being a student, to the point of I need to always put myself in a position to learn, to get more information. And I mean, it really came to fruition this year because I quit my job. Quit my job, didn't know what I really wanted to do. So I'll do this in the meantime, or I'll do that. And I didn't find any happiness. I didn't find anything throughout all that. So I was like, pause, excuse me, but let's reset. And in the process of resetting, I started reaching out to this person, reaching out to you, reaching out to so many people who had all this expertise, that had all this advice, that had all this information to give to make me a better. Not because I was trying to follow their path, but because they were going to, I was gonna be able to take something away to help me master my life. because I think for me, mastery is so important, but as we go through it, I think mastery is always changing depending on what the craft is, depending on the person, depending on where you're trying to go. So I think starting an episode with you is dope because you made your own dreams happen. I think I'm not sure when was the last time you did one, but it's like, for me, it really looks like you wrote something down, you had a vision board, you put it on there, and then it came to pass and it actually happened. And I really want to dive deeper into that. I really want to understand that because you're mastering your dream career. And I think that's really important. That's going to allow us to have a really great conversation. But honestly, I think there's a lot I can learn from it. So do you want me to read your bio?
Please don't. I hate bios.
It's long.
Yeah, please don't. We can get through the bio. How's that?
Okay, so it says Ashley Simmons is an alumni of Param's Catholic. You want to start there?
I mean, sure. But before we move on, you were talking about vision boarding and saying like you didn't know if I did that from the start. I definitely didn't intentionally. I think the only thing I can reference, and I don't even remember what. I almost want to say, Mommy made me write 10 things down that I wanted. Sounds like something she would prompt us to do.
I mean, I quit my job and we had a vision board. Well, I went to Delaware to have a vision board meeting. She ended up being busy every day.
I mean, she's a busy woman.
I was going to leave. She's like, "Oh, let's do it now." Now I'm having a whole episode freaking out because I'm not in the right mind space. So she goes, "Okay, you can go." And we can do this later. And we went on WebEx for like 3 hours, maybe 4 hours one day.
Yeah.
And now we're here. So, shout out to Melissa.
Yeah, she's pretty cool.
I'm sorry. Dr. Melissa Simmons.
But I think that's what was the first time I probably vision boarded. And
Vision boarded.
That makes sense.
Okay. I'm not an English major. I don't know.
Anyways. But I think on there, one of the lists was like I wanted to be WNBA commissioner. Like that was one of like my dreams. So fast forward to now, I do vision board every year. I do it on New Year's Eve, going into the new year to kind of just set the tone for the year, or at least set intentions for the year.
It's okay.
Go right ahead.
You can keep it going. You can get in it. Oh, did I finish this bottle already?
Shocking.
Man.
But starting at PC, I mean, the only like thing to really note of going to that school was that not that it's a bad school. Like I had a good time at PC.
A great time.
Made some friends. Got a solid education. Like I always.
What two different experiences?
We had very different
at
experiences. I was an honors kid, so I took pride in going to school and getting good grades.
I went to school.
I participated a lot. I was on the basketball team for a little bit. Did like yearbook. I was in all like the service community stuff. He has no idea what I'm talking about. He didn't even know any of these things were offered at the school.
I ran the Boys and Girls Club service trip every week. I did do that. I got like 30-something detentions my freshman year.
Ridiculous.
Wow. So you were like, I think they were really surprised when I came in.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, you and CJ ruined my reputation. The both of you, it makes no sense that the three of us are related when it comes to like how we function
I was like,
in
if
school.
people met all three of us independent of each other, you would not, you don't know who you're getting. It's like, oh, you meet Ashley. It's like, oh, they're all related. We're going to meet Nick, and they're going to be very similar.
We're exact opposites. I mean, CJ's more like me than you, but there are similarities I think we all have, but it definitely has nothing to do with schoolwork or how we apply ourselves in that.
Or how we are perceived.
But I will say, out of school, I did a video production class, and that by far was my favorite. And I remember, I think when I was about to leave school, I think I was originally gonna major in like psychology.